Alright, Flintstones. Yabba dabba doo. Alright, so I don't know if you guys ever heard the Flintstones, but we got Fred and Wilma here, and then we got Barney, I forget her name, and then you have Bam Bam and Pebbles. So what we're going to do is look at sex-linked traits, and you're going to be comparing Bam Bam and Pebbles in this section. We're going to assume that Bam Bam and Pebbles are both the son and daughter of Wilma and Fred for this example. All right, so why does this matter? Well, a lot of you have heard of color blindness. So color blindness is found on the X chromosome. The X chromosome is a specific chromosome that determines our genes. So this is a neat thing because so if you have X little r, you will be, and this is the gene now, so it's on the X chromosome, but the little r is up there. So if you have XX little r, you are a female because they have two X's. If you have X little r y, you are a male. All right, so this XY tells you you're a male, XX tells you you're a female, but then the little r's tell you if you're colorblind or not. So what we're going to do is look at the Flintstones here. All right, so you can determine the gender by just looking at the chromosomes. So the differences here is they each have 23 pairs of chromosomes, so they only count up to 22, but they actually have 23. This is the 23rd pair right here. All right, for a total of 46 chromosomes. And the difference is if you look at Fred, he has an X and a Y, and the female has two X's. So who determines so these two chromosomes, this 23rd pair, is what determines whether you're a boy or girl. Every boy has XY, every girl has XX. All right, so who determines the gender of their child is actually the boy, the male, because females will always donate an X no matter what, whereas the males will either donate an X or a Y. So if they donate X, then they'll have a girl. If it donates a Y, then they'll have a boy. If you heard of Henry VIII, he killed all his wives because they wouldn't give him a boy. He should have just killed himself because he was the one who was determining whether or not they have a boy or a girl. All right, so you should be able to answer all those based on that. All right, this one, you're going to use this table up here, and we're going to look at the sex lineage genes. So notice the Y gene has no genes on it. The reason why, if you look up here, the Y gene is really dinky. So you can remember, again, boys are stupid. They have less genes because this Y gene, Y chromosome here, doesn't carry a lot of genes. The X does because the X is big. All right, so we have this Y. The Y doesn't have any alleles on it. There's no genes. There's no letters on it. The X has alleles on it. So we're only going to look at the X and Y that determine as the male, but then you're going to use your normal genetics to look at the letters. So these, if he has a big letter, he's dominant. If he has a little letter, it's recessive. Over here, two little letters, the girl is just like normal, what we do normally talking about, we look at two little letters recessive. Anytime she has a big letter, it overrides the little one, so she's dominant. So how you're going to fill in this chart is, if you look up here, normal vision is dominant over red-green colorblindness. So Fred is colorblind because he is recessive, so you just write colorblind in here, whereas Wilma is normal vision. Over here, hair growth, he has a capital B, so he has normal, whereas Wilma is going to be going bald. Unfortunately for her, it doesn't look like on the picture, but she has baldness. All right, and so you just go through and fill out the rest of that table. I'm not going to do that because that's pretty easy. All right, so now let's go down and look at the pedigree here. So I'm going to do Punnett square. So I'm going to do these first one or two together, or you guys can figure it out. So Punnett square is the exact same way. You can put the male or the female on the top. So the first thing I'm going to do is put up the X and the Y's. All right, so XX female, XY male. This is the only possible way you can get a child is you have a boy and a girl together. All right. Pebbles has faulty, all right, so we want to find out faulty enamel. So we'll go up here to enamel. Here, faulty enamel is dominant, normal enamel is recessive. So, and Fred is big E little y, and Wilma is little e. So you just add the letters to the top here, and then you just do your Punnett square like normal. So this X big E is all connected, so that goes there. The X little e is all connected, so that goes there. X big E goes there. X little e goes there. And then X little e goes down here with a Y from the side. And X little e from the top, Y from the side. So we get Pebbles has a 100% chance of faulty enamel, the dominant trait. Because if you look at the girls, she only has big E's. We don't look at all the boxes, we're only looking at the girls for Pebbles, so 100% faulty, 0% normal. And then if we look at Bam Bam, down here in the second one, you only look at the boys, so 100% normal, because he has all little e's, whereas 0% faulty. So obviously, for this next question, compare the chances of Bam Bam and Pebbles getting normal tooth enamel. Bam Bam has the higher percentage. He has 100, whereas Pebbles has 0. Alright, so I'll just do the next one, and then I want you guys to try it and figure it out. Alright. And you guys can do the next ones. Alright, so what is the chance of Pebbles having normal blood clotting? So we need to look at blood clotting. So blood clotting here, X big HY, and that's normal. X, and then she is a carrier. So she's a carrier. He has a big H. So then remember X big H, X big H, X big H, X little h from the top. X big H in the top, Y, X little h from the top, and a Y. So Pebbles again has a 0% chance, 100% chance of being normal or dominant, and a 0% chance of being recessive or hemophilia. Whereas Bam Bam, on the other hand, if we just look at the girls, the boys, the X and the Y, he has a 50% chance of being normal and a 50% chance of being hemophiliac. Alright, so again, Bam Bam has a higher chance of getting the recessive trait. So you're going to go through those questions, and then at the end, just go back and look at your Punnett squares to answer these last 3 questions.